I'm not sure why. Okay. This pimple. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, the pimple is like magnified. Magnified. You turned all the lights off, sir. Don't cuss. Where's my text messages at from Sunny? Whose phone is this? Mm-mm. I sent Sunny a video. Hey y'all, I don't know if you guys got to watch my if you guys hey boo, good evening. Hey girl, hey the K crew. So I want to play this video with you guys. I know it's late. I did get a vlog up for you guys. He's just back here making all kinds of noise. Ice, refrigerator, he don't care. So anyways, shout out to my mods, shout out to the chats, 24 y'all in here. So I'm trying to pull up this video. What does Sunny have me saved under on his phone? Did he get mad at me and delete me? Oh, here it is. Okay, no. Okay, so I sent him the video, didn't I? Okay, so that was the vlog. Remember when I did part 1 to how I ended up in a polygamous relationship? Oh, thank you. Where was this at? On the door? Oh. So that vlog was the day after I recorded that live. Y'all, excuse my face. Number 1, this is my makeup. I did this makeup at 6 o'clock this morning, so this is all day. It's done oiled and watered down now. Today's my grandma's birthday, so we went over there and celebrated her, and y'all have a zip. And he was just making fun of me because he was like, you gonna go in there and they gonna talk about that zip. But I'm not popping it. I have really good skin. Not like the best skin, but I don't want a big old blemish, okay? So you can see it. It can see you. I know y'all can see it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to let that stop me from going live. It's just a zit. There's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? So, anywho, we just want to address that beforehand. So, I told you guys I was going to go live today. And, that wasn't cute. I told you guys I was going to go live today and discuss the situation with my mom. So, a couple days ago, I was scrolling on TikTok and my mom came up on my For You page. And when she came up on my For You page, it was a video talking about me, my brother, and my grandma. And I didn't appreciate it because it was some lies told in the video. My lashes are lifted, y'all. This makeup's been on here for all day, okay? And I really didn't appreciate it. Like I told you guys yesterday when I went live, my mom went to a program which she's already disclosed her location, so it's not like I'm giving out her location. She said it in her videos. She's in West Care. And y'all, my eyes are really light. But the lashes make my eyes get heavier or lower. But my eyes look heady in this right now. Anyways, so she didn't complete it. At this time, my brother Michael was living with me, like always. No shame, not too much. But he just be living with his sister, which is fine. And he was in the car with me. We were actually going to a laundromat because the place I lived at this time didn't have a washer and dryer inside of the apartment unit. So, boom. I'm on the phone. I put my mom on speaker. My brother hears. Basically, my mom's like, I'm leaving the program. I just want to let you know, don't be upset with me. But this is exactly what she said because my brother Michael was in the car, y'all. When I say he can confirm this, my brother Michael, okay, that seems better. My brother Michael can confirm this. And actually, he's upstairs in his room. My mom was like, I need some D. Yeah. She was like, hey, level up. She was like, I need some D, so I'm going to leave. And me and Michael were like, we were just shocked because she was doing so good. I was taking the kids to see her on her visits and all that. So I just was completely and utterly shocked that she would leave for that. And she left, y'all. When I say she left, she left. She left the program. That was in 2018. Now, fast forward to 2024, since the situation happened, the tragedy in my family with my stepfather and my mother and my brother Aaron, my mom has went to 3 different programs. So we're talking about January, February. Well, she went to her first one in February. So February, March, April, May, June, July, August. And the last 7 months, she's been to 3 programs. So, ooh, the makeup is giving, girl. Thank you, boo. So, she's been to, let me bring y'all back because I feel like y'all know the business. Don't mind my, I have a cup collection in the back. Don't mind that. Don't even look at it, okay? I have an obsession with cups and I like my cups every day. So she's been to 3 different programs in the past 7 months. 2 of them are the same, one's different. And she left and then she went back to the first one, which is not West Care. So I want to play the video for you guys. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you the video that I seen on TikTok. And the reason I'm showing it is because you guys have been a part of this journey. You've been a part of this whole situation. I've publicly shared it. Hey, Key, looking hot, mamas. Thank you. I've publicly shared it on all my platforms. And my mom has been in my videos. She's been a part of my social media. But what I will say, and I will post these receipts in my community board just because, you know, Key always comes with the receipt. But my mom definitely told me on July 11th. On July 11th, my mom had already been there for a 10-day blackout at the rehabilitation program, rehab center, whatever you want to call it. She had already been there for 10 days. She didn't work out living with my grandma. So I know the last time you guys see my mom in a video, we were talking about Olivia and her mom telling them to pull up or shut up. And we meant that. And we stand on business like the Statue of Liberty. There was no games in that. That was serious. And I know some people were like, ha, ha, ha. No, we were serious. We don't play that. So that was the last day me and my mom were kind of laughing together. Then on Father's Day, I took it really hard, you guys. I went to go see my 98-year-old great-grandfather, which is my grandmother's father, my mom's grandpa. He's my bestie, and I'm his bestie. We went to go see him. We bought him gifts and cookies. I actually went live. It was a beautiful moment. My grandpa cried when I gave him his gift and his card. So I was super emotional. I didn't know that that day was going to be super triggering for me. But on Father's Day, it was my first Father's Day without my stepfather. And it definitely was my first Father's Day without my biological father. So it was extremely hard for me. It kind of hit me like a ton of bricks after seeing my grandpa and just knowing that I could see him, but I couldn't see my biological father or my stepfather who played such a big role in my life, right? Especially over the last 3 years. So I went to the closest father figure that I have, which is my oldest brother, Keith Jr. So I went to his house. I stayed in the driveway of his house, y'all, crying for like an hour because I knew when I went up there, my brother was just going to be like, what's going on, you know? And I didn't want to ruin his Father's Day. You know what I mean? So I went up there. Long behold, guess who's laying on the couch? My mom. My mom's literally laying on their couch. And I'm like, what is she doing here? Because mind you, her and my grandma just got into it a couple days prior to that. And my mom ended up leaving. We didn't know where she was at. She told my grandma that she was sleeping in a tent outside. She never was. She was at my brother's house. And so I'm crying. I'm going through it. I'm talking to my sister-in-law, Renee, my brother's wife. And I'm just venting to them like how I feel. My mom tries to butt in, y'all. And she does the whole victim thing. Oh, her, right? And I get it. Yes, her feelings are valid with the situation and how she feels. But this is a pattern that my mom has always done in my life since I was a kid. She can't take responsibility or accountability in being a parent. Never has, and I don't know if she ever will. And so in that moment, I came to my brother's house because I was in distress. I was crying. I was hurt. It was just like that cry, mocos everywhere. I needed my brother. That's the closest father figure that I have, that's still living. And so for her to be there, it just kind of like threw everything off. And everything turned into this like big rage argument where me and my mom are screaming at each other to the point where I completely lose my voice. Gone. My voice is gone. I lost my voice. I couldn't talk for 3 days. Like, it was like so horrible because as her child, right, even though I'm an adult, as, a child she brought into this world, I'm trying to convey to her, you can't play this victim role forever. You have to take accountability that you did certain things with my brother, you and my stepfather, that triggered these things. Not saying it's your guys' fault, but you guys were the mentally stable ones. And I couldn't live there with my mom and my stepfather and Aaron. I have 4 children in my own family, but I did live down the street. But she wants to portray herself in the public eye or around certain people a certain way, but who she really is, okay, my light's tweaking out, so it's about to get dark. You're like, Key, you're never prepared. I'm sorry. Finally caught one. Welcome, boo. So it's like, is there another light? My light's tweaking out. Okay. So, yeah, I'm so happy you're here. So, as I feel like I'm the mom. Like, my brother's living here now. No shade. I love him. But I feel like I've raised my brothers. I've raised my nephews. I've been the adult when I was a child, when I was a teenager. And even now, being a single mother with 4 kids, I still navigate my mother's children. And so it kind of went on like that. It didn't end well. And I ended up, leaving. My mom stayed there. Well, the light is tweaking out. So a couple days later, my brother texts me and is like, hey, just want to let you know your mom left. We haven't heard from her. We just want to let you know she did leave. And I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know. So I tell my grandma that she was there. I tell my grandma basically what happened. Because my grandma's... Y'all, this light don't know what it wants to do. My grandma's like basically my mother. My grandmother raised me. It is my mom's mom. So I let her know that she was over there. I let her know, she left because regardless of the behavior that my mom was displaying, we were still very concerned with her because, again, her feelings are valid, but how you handle your feelings, how you react to situations, how you treat people during like this, it was like a very sensitive time, a very sensitive topic. She can never hold herself accountable. She just can't. I don't know. And so, yeah, we found out after the 10 days she's in West Care. She calls my phone and she tells me, can I bring all her clothes to the program? They're at my grandma's house. I'm like, sure. So on July, was it July? June or July? No. July 9th, I take all her clothes to the program. I drop them off with the secretary in the front desk lady. Then on July 11th, I always like to give you guys the backstory to bring you up to current. Really, you just came in the video. It doesn't matter, but you said you didn't want to be in the video. Can you give me my light now? Because it flipped off. I can't, it's live. I can't edit it out. It's fine, but you just said you don't want to. Okay, go. So anyways, I can't cut it out. It's fine. Okay. So anyways, she was like, I took her stuff. She was like, thank you. On July 11th, she texted me and I can't, I'm on my phone, so I can't bring up her receipts. Sorry, I don't like to put people on my YouTube channel if they don't want to be. And my brother's friend didn't want to be, but he wasn't worried about the angles of the camera and the light. I'm in the living room. And so, yeah. But he's fine. It's too late. He came in the... Your light is a loud sound. Okay, wait. Is it better? Okay, it's going to be kind of dark. Is that okay, you guys? There's a... Oh, there is a buzzing noise. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. We're going to have to do it like the ghost telling. Sorry, y'all. Thanks for letting me know, Ebony Queen. Can you turn on the backlight for me? Because the light is making a buzzing noise in their ear. I'm sorry, y'all. I did not know. So on July 9th, my mom sends me these text messages saying she loves me, but she feels like I hate her. I'm angry with her. I don't believe her. I don't trust her. I don't love her. Like these long paragraphs saying she's telling me how I feel about her, speaking for me and not letting me speak for myself. So I read all the text messages and I reply back with, I understand. She basically tells me that I'm too triggering for her at this moment as she's trying to recover because she knows that I don't believe the story. And I still don't, you guys. I don't believe the story that my mom is telling. She told the police. She told anybody. I believe that there's more to the story that happened that night. And yeah, I just believe there's more to the story. And I don't believe that... Hey, love. I don't believe that she's coming forth with the whole truth. And I'm not going to change that. That's my personal opinion. That's me knowing all parties involved and me watching everything play out while my heart was shattered. And things are very questionable, and they still are. Period, point blank. So, she basically said that I'm too triggering because I trigger her about Erin and not loving her and not believing her side of the story. And she feels, okay, sorry about the noise, y'all. I'm so sorry. I wish somebody would have told me sooner. I apologize about because it's my little light right here. Oh, and so, she said, I think you need space to heal in this time, in this moment right now, considering everything that happened. And I just need to step away from my family. And she just went on, basically saying, long story short, I'm talking about my mom because my mom's in a program and she went on TikTok and made a video. And I'm explaining everything before I actually show you guys the video. And I didn't appreciate the context of the video because there was lies. And talking about, oh, nobody's came to visit her. Like nobody's dropped her any packages off. She hasn't left the program one time for a visit with her family. And it's giving delusional because you literally texted me and said that you needed a break from your family, that you needed space from us because we were too triggering. And she was upset with my grandma because my grandma's birthday is today. She turned 73. My grandma's been through a lot. She's raised her children, my father's children. She's raised her daughter's children. My grandmother has raised 3 different sets of children, one of them being her own. So she's tired, okay? And she's been through a lot. So there's only so much you can handle at that age. And when my mom was staying with my grandmother after she left CAP, another program, drug rehabilitation program here in Fresno. Yay, happy birthday to grandma. I'll let her know. And she basically was crying every single day. Every single day she was crying and she wanted to relive the situation. She wanted to talk to my grandma about this situation every single day. Now, for some people, they don't have the mental capacity to withstand that conversation on a daily basis. They just don't. And I think as just women and the human race, we have to be mindful of trauma dumping on people. Right? Yes, thank you. Happy birthday, abuelita, period. You know, I think we just, I'll say for women, a lot of times we don't take into consideration that people don't have the mental capacity for trauma dumping. Some people can take it. Some people love to hear it. They take your trauma dumping as entertainment because maybe they don't have that type of trauma or drama in their life. But for my grandmother, she's physically disabled. She's been through so much in her life that hearing that story, because you guys have to remember, and if you don't, my grandmother raised me, Aaron, and Michael our whole life. So my mother did not raise us. So in my grandma's eyes, Aaron is not her grandson. That's more like her son. She raised Aaron. He's the youngest. So Aaron, when we got into my grandmother's home, I was 2. Michael was 1 and Aaron was a newborn. So she raised Aaron from a newborn, you know? And so the bond and attachment was definitely there. So for my mom to sit around and want to relive this very traumatic situation every day, and then my mom would just cry, it was too much for my grandmother's mental. And I'm not upset with her because I think we have to be I try to do this with the people that I love. I ask them, do you have space for me to talk about this today? Do you have the mental capacity for me to like talk to you about this situation? Because I feel like we don't ask people to hold space for us. We just expect them to hold space for us, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just gonna expect that you can handle my trauma dumping, and I'm just going to expect that it's not going to affect you when we hang up the phone. A lot of people are affected when you trauma dump on them, okay? Once the conversation is over, they're processing it. They're, you know, navigating your whole situation in their mind, and it can cause anxiety, depression. And so I just feel like we need to be mindful. So her and my grandma were in odds, and everybody has a different perception when it comes to how you handle traumatic situations. And my grandma's the type of person, you get 24 hours to cry about it and then it's time to move on. And I'm not saying that's the right way you should process things, but again, everybody has their own way. And so for my grandma, she just was like, you need to move on from this. And if you don't want to, you need to go get help. We took my mom to the mental health place to get help, to see a psychiatrist, a therapist, whatever she needed. So we did bring her to that place to like access help, you know, with outside therapy for this entire situation. But again, you have to work that. If that's something that you really need, yes, she did do a good job with us. Thank you, Cat. You know, but my grandma always said, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. I can say, hey, this person, this therapist, they're going to help you. They're going to give you the tools necessary to navigate your pain and your trauma. But if you don't want to follow through and go through the sessions and be open and honest, you're not going to get the help that you need, right? So her and my grandma left off in bad terms because basically my grandma was like, we took you to go get help. You're not following through with the help. And every day you basically want to trauma dump on me and you want to relive this situation. Also, my mom was saying some outrageous accusations involving me, and my grandma could not take it because, again, me and my grandmother are very, very close. So they didn't end on good terms. My grandma loves her daughter very much and wishes her the best. But sometimes you have to love people from a distance when they don't have the capacity to love themselves or heal. So when I seen this video, obviously I have enough common sense not to take it personal, not to get too angry, but it did bother me. And I just want to share it with you guys because this is something that I literally go through. Like, you know, my biggest platform is TikTok. And for her to go on TikTok and try to make this video, well, not try to make this video, knowing that I have the receipts here on YouTube. If you go all the way down to 2028, you see a thumbnail of my mom, Gary, and my kids. We're all at West Care. I did a whole video of my mom, me dropping her off at West Care, saying her goodbyes. And this was the first time she ever went into a program to get help with her addiction. She did not complete and she did not graduate. And she came on the video and said that. And it just like, now, I get it. You're in your feelings, totally fine. But don't come over here and lie. Don't come over here and lie and say nobody's visited you, nobody's dropped you a care package, nobody cares about you, when you literally told me to leave you alone. So if you tell me to leave you alone, you don't gotta tell me twice. I'm gonna back up. I don't care if you're my mom, my uncle, my aunt. I don't care. If you want space, I'm gonna give you that because I feel like we just should respect people's boundaries, right? But don't ask me to give you space and then I tell you, because I did tell her, y'all, I'm not going to come on here and not tell you what I told her. I told her, I said, I hope one day you grow up and realize that as a mother, you can't clock out. You don't get to clock out from being a mother. The day that you decide to have children, the day that you decide to open your legs and have a baby, you are responsible for them. Yes, obviously not financially when they become of age, but a lot of grown parents help their grown children financially. But you're supposed to still be there to love them, to give them sound advice, all of those things, right? Just because your children turn 18 doesn't mean you stop parenting them. And my mom has always checked out of being a mom. She's always clocked out. And for us to come this far in our relationship and for her to still display that same behavior is ridiculous. And so I did let her know. Not too much, but I told her, I said, my children will never know what it feels like because I will never tell them that I'm clocking out of being their mother or I'm taking a step back. I'm your mom. I'm going to pray you through it. I'm going to walk you through it. And if you need a little space, I'll give it to you, but I'm not going to clock out. It just doesn't work that way. And I get it. We might not all view the, like, we might not all have the same perspective on that topic or that situation. And that's okay. But that's my own personal view on it. I just feel like when you choose to have children, you don't get to clock out. You don't get to take a sabbatical. You don't. I'm sorry. When in the vlog that I just posted, I'm literally breaking down at work. I'm literally breaking down at lunch and my baby's in the car. As soon as he woke up, I wiped my tears and continued on with the day. You know what I mean? And nobody taught me that. Nobody taught me that. It's just, I know as a mother that I have to be strong. That I cannot sit here and wallow in my sorrows. Okay, not too much, Bridgerton. Agreed. Okay, Melissa. So after I said all that, because you know Key loves to talk, I will play the video. So this is a video that I'm referring to that she posted on TikTok. And it literally came up on my feed. You guys, I do not follow her on TikTok. And I just thought it was such a coincidence that it actually popped up. So let me set it up for you guys. I'm going to put it on my 70-inch, not so much. Let me airplay it. I'm using Sunny's phone because my kids are in bed. If I can do it.
Anyways.
Why are you laughing? Shh, don't say anything. I was like, how do you do the airplay on his phone? Okay. He wanted you to know one of your kids' friend is up here. That's how God works. Hey, agreed. Hey, I'm not sure which kid this is, but hello, honey. Let me see. Sunny's friend from school. Hey, love. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see. Okay. Let me clean the camera off. I had to clean the camera off. Okay. So let's press play and y'all can watch it. Hey, Sunday. Sorry. No. I was like, why isn't it working?
I'm in West Care now. I came to West Care in 2019 and I got clean. I stayed clean for a while. And still my daughter didn't want anything to do with me. Then when she got pregnant with her last child, which was Almise, and I was a part of her life during her pregnancy and after she had the baby, until like around the 2023 during Christmas, or no, Thanksgiving, or before Thanksgiving, is like she started, when the kids' birthday started coming around in 2023, she started acting weird towards me. And people were telling her lies about me, saying I was doing this, saying I was doing that, and none of it was true. And they were awful, awful lies, and none of it was true. She still believes it to this day, and that's okay, because I've lied to her in the past.
Okay, y'all. So you heard what she said right now when she said, somebody told me some awful lies. Remember, this is her mom, so regardless of what you see, be respectful. Thank you, Sunday. So she just admitted that she has lied to me in the past. That was a positive thing because she's never verbally voiced that to me and been authentic and honest. So I appreciate that part of the video because she's never looked at me in my face, even though that was just a video. She's admitting that she's lied before. Can you put water in here? And so lied to me before. So I want to clarify and I want to explain, what does she mean when she said that people told her awful things? People told me awful things about her. So what they basically, I can say exactly who it was. It's a friend of the family. So his name is Chris. He's been in our family and he's been in Gary's family forever. So Gary's best friend, Monty, they grew up together for many, many years. Monty passed away a couple years ago. So Chris was like family, has been like family, and he stayed with my mom and Gary and Aaron. Also, Chris has a mentally ill brother like my brother. So I called Chris my brother. Still to this day love him. So one day, around that time, she just mentioned, she's telling the truth. I went to my mom's house and Chris was smoking outside. He came to the car and he said, look, I never want to get involved into your family affairs because that's your guys' business and I like to stay out of it. He said, but I can't stay silent about this no more. I'm like, well, what's going on? What are you talking about? And he was like, I want to warn you that your mom is back using. She's lying to you. She's lying to you. He said, also, your mom, the way that she acts when she's in front of you and who she is when she walks back in this apartment, she's a totally different person. The way she treats your brother, the way she talks about you, the way she talks about your brother Michael. He said, you don't know who your mom really is. This person that she presents herself to be in front of you and your children is a complete act. And I was just like, I was taken back from it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot to be told about your mother, whom you've only had a relationship with for about 6 years in your whole life, right? Because I've told you guys in the past, I was not close to my mom. I did not know my mom like that. We did not have a bond or... What kind of water is this? It's from the water bottle? It tastes like sink water. Sorry. I don't drink sink water, y'all. Not too much, but I don't. I'm sorry. It has to be water bottle. So, anywho, that was a lot, right? And I didn't know how to take it. I didn't know what to believe, y'all. That was heavy, right? And I'm just like, because at this time, my mom is working. She's helping me. She's throwing me money. She's in my life. She's like my number one supporter. We're very close at this time. And I'm like, I don't know how to really take that. You know what I mean? And so obviously I needed time to process that because again, I didn't know her behind those closed doors. And like he told me, he said, you don't know her. You think you know her, but you know a version of her. So I ended up moving because I used to live down the street from my mom and stepfather. And I moved across town, like far away, okay, from them. So I didn't start acting funny with her. We just didn't live down the street. And I also was skeptical about that situation. Chris, because Chris had never got involved. Chris had never told me anything negative about my mom. But Chris lived there every day. He had been living with them for years. He had been homeless with them. So he knew them in a different way than I did. Do you know what I mean? So it was hard for me to really process that because I didn't want to let somebody from the outside of me and my mom's relationship taint it into not being the truth. But I also, to some degree, believed it. Sorry, y'all. I be talking. I need some drink. Okay. So let's go back to the video. I just wanted to interrupt that part so you guys, I can give some clarity. So here we go.
But this time, I'm not lying, and she doesn't believe me. But that's okay. You know what? This is my second time in West Care. I completed it in 2019. I'll do it again. And
So this is where she's with the cap. She is lying. My mom did not complete no West Care. Go to my videos and y'all can see. Period, point blank. She's lying. I don't like that. Just say the truth because we recorded it. We put it on the internet. It was such a big monumental moment. My mom, first time, that was her first time ever going into a drug rehabilitation program. And I was rooting for her. That's when our relationship was very fresh. And I wanted to have a sober parent. So I just wish you wouldn't have lied about that because it's not the truth. Y'all, look at Sunny's. Look at this is my son's phone.
do it again, and then again, and again, until she believes me. You know what I mean? Whatever it takes. Well, now I've got a job. I'm going to college. I'm in West Care. And I'm doing the best that I can with what I have. I get out of here, I'll have a place to live. I'm getting my Section 8 and doing what I can. And she's just gonna have to eventually come to me because I came into this program. I don't get visits. I don't get drop-offs. I don't see anybody. I don't talk to. I don't even go out on. I don't go out on passes. I stay here at West Care the full 90 days without going.
Okay. I hope y'all are paying attention. So she has a full-time job and she goes to college. But she's never left the program. Are y'all hearing the same thing I did? I'm watching the video for the first time, right? I'm on TikTok, minding my business, trying to go to bed, and this comes up on my screen. My mother, my biological mother, saying that she has a full-time, now Matt, she's sober in this program, right? This is a drug rehab program, right? And she's saying that she has a full-time job and she goes to school full-time. Okay, Mom. And again, I'm not trying to disrespect my mom. I'm just saying, huh? You know what I mean? I was lost there. Okay? Let's go back to it.
Out on passes, without getting any visits, without getting any drop-offs. I closed off the whole world and worked on myself at West Care. I didn't see anybody. I don't talk to anybody on the phone. Nobody. Not my daughter. Not my goddaughter LD. None of her friends. If you're dirty and you're using drugs, I don't want nothing to do with you until you get clean. Even if you're smoking weed, I don't want nothing to do with you. Not drinking alcohol, not smoking weed, not doing nothing. I want nothing to do with any kind of drugs, period. I want my life to be quiet, peaceful, alone. If that's what it takes, me being alone, to show people how serious I am, then I'll do it. It does not bother me to be alone. Even my own mother threw me out because I was crying too much. And then lied on me saying I was saying this and saying that, and I wasn't. And that's okay. You know what I mean? Because she wasn't any better as a mom than I was. So, this is what...
Okay. So this is where she started throwing shots at my grandma. But let's read the comments before I say what I gotta say. Okay. Okay, Lena said, Miss Kennedy, my dear, I'm older than you, and I'll say this. The truth is everyone is going to hurt you. You just gotta find the ones who's worth suffering for. That's deep. That's really deep. And I can honestly say, yes, I probably can count on one hand the people that in my life that haven't hurt me, and I can count on both hands and both toes on the people that have. So there's some hard truth to that statement, and it is a hard pill to swallow. Jay Pay said, PJ, I read that so wrong. My apologies. My mom is an addict. I haven't been able to have a normal conversation with her in 5 years. She told my siblings I'm dead to her. I can't relate. It's tough. It's tough having a parent that's an addict and when you are the oldest. Because I am the oldest, I have been the care provider for not only my siblings, but I am the sibling on my father's side who has their mental right, who isn't an addict. So I've also taken care of their children for numerous years with no financial help. So, and then I've now and have been the care provider for my mom's mother who is disabled. So I feel like I carry such a burden and weight due to people's lack of growth and evolving and actually getting the help that they need mentally and with their addictions. I can relate because I'm the oldest. Okay. And it sucks. She's definitely wrong for throwing that shot at your grandma. She sounds very ungrateful for her mom and take care of her responsibilities. And that's what I wanted to say. You know, my grandmother raised us. My grandma was a registered nurse, was working full time at the hospital doing big things with her life. She only had one child. She had a beautiful home. She had a nice partner. And my grandmother gave all that up, you guys. There was back in the day, the resources weren't like they were today, where there was free childcare and there was all this assistance, and you could get WIC and you could get food stamps for foster kids. All of these things have just come to play in the last decade and so. So back then, back in the 90s, right? My grandma had to quit her career in order to raise us, literally. She quit her career, quit her job, and she became a full-time stay-at-home mom. And she started living off of government assistance. And they only paid her $500 per kid in welfare. And she was a registered nurse working 13-hour days, making really good money. My grandmother gave up her life. Now, whatever my grandmother and my mom went through, I wasn't there. Ain't got nothing to do with me. But what she did for your children is more than enough. And you shouldn't throw shots at your mother. But, I mean, to each their own. My mom went through addiction. What I will tell you is that those who are dealing with this, you only get one mother. Never stop praying for your mom and love her anyway. It doesn't mean you have to. Be around them but it will lighten the load inside. Forgive, choose to love, and give it to God. He is bigger than the addiction, and prayers change things. I wasted so much time being mad at my mom. And I think I hated her, you guys, as a child. I hated her. She was my enemy because as a child, I can never understand how could you bring children into this world and not love them and take care of them. But as I grew older and as I gained wisdom and knowledge, that hate turned into love and compassion. But it took time. And I still have love and compassion with her. It just makes the situation very difficult because my brother is a part of this situation now, and it's turned very ugly. But I do extend love to her, and I definitely pray for her as she's in this program. But for her to do this is just so unnecessary. And I know that I cannot control what people do. I'm only in control of how I react to it. That's why I'm not going off and yelling at the camera. I'm just sharing it with you guys because this is a part of my life, and I share my life with you guys. And this is a part of another thing that I'm dealing with on top of everything I've been sharing with you guys and the past 3 videos. All of those lives have been 2 hours. So imagine I've been processing all of that, going through all of that I've been sharing with you guys in those lives, and still navigating my mother's situation, still navigating Aaron. And now I have moved my brother back into my house. It's a lot. And I think when you watch it from the outside, people always say, oh, you handle it so well. Like, you got this, you're doing good. It's hard. It is not easy, and it doesn't come with a manual. I don't have any book that I'm highlighting and it's telling me how to do this and how to do that. I'm taking it one day at a time, you know? Thank you, Sunday. I appreciate that. Yep, I remember that feeling. Thank God I've healed praying for you guys, for real, for real. Thank you. And so it's just the whole entire situation is so messed up, yo. Like, it's just so ugly, you know? So for all this to be going on and for her to go on the internet and make this video, especially because I reached out to my mom. So on the next video on Thursday that I'm going to drop for you guys, and I'm going to start wrapping up the series, I reached out to my mom, and I will tell you guys this story. Not to get choked up. When I called her in desperation, in a moment where you just need your mother. And again, it solidified the little girl in me that I cannot rely on her. I cannot depend on her. I can't. And I've always felt like I'm her mother and she is my child. And that is a burden in itself when your mother has never held space for you to be her daughter, but to be her mom. That's a lot. My mom has even voiced it with her own words, saying, you've taught me so much. You've been more of a mother to me than I've been to you. And she says it as if that is an accomplishment or if that is something to be praised or applauded about. And it's really sad and devastating that I don't know if I'll ever know what that feels to look towards her as a mother. Even in the time of when I just went through this horrific situation and I extended myself, like, help me, like, I'm not okay and I need a mother in this point in time. And obviously she's still in the program. And it's so crazy how people's love come with conditions. I say this all the time. People's love come with conditions. And I'm just built different. Mine doesn't. If I love you and I tell you I love you unconditionally, it doesn't come with conditions. And I've had to learn over the last 3 years, I've had to learn that the hard way, for sure, that I love people in capacities that they don't even love themselves. And I think it's because the way that I was raised and the environment I was raised in, that I love people harder than regular people do, you know? So, which is an amazing thing because I think God can use that, you know, use me as his vessel to love his children. But when it's not used for the glory and the edifying of the kingdom, then somebody can manipulate me with that love. You know what I mean? They can use my unconditional love for their power, right? For their control. So I've had to learn a lot in the last 3 years when it comes to that unconditional love. Yeah, I said that earlier. I said, I get it, sis. Thanks, love. Aw, Keem. I feel like I get more love from strangers that hear my testimony, my story, and I get more empathy than from the people that are watching me in this life navigate it. How? I don't know. And when I sit back and think about that, how strangers can show me more compassion, more empathy, more sympathy, more understanding, more love than the people that are actually in real life watching me navigate all of these situations. It's mind blowing, y'all. Let's get back to the video. Okay. It's almost done, y'all.
And I'm telling you the truth. Whether you guys decide to believe me or not, that's up to you. You know what I mean? I'm living my life, and I'm going to live my life no matter what. I gave myself to God. I got baptized. I gave myself to God. I turned my will and my life over to God. Period. And that's what I am, a child of God. Not some recovering drug addict that keeps making empty promises. I'm a child of God. And God saved me, period. And God is the only person who will save me. He's my father. He is everything to me. That's my best friend. And that's the only person I have in my life right now, is God. I don't have no one else. And if that's the way my kids want it, then so be it. I miss my grandkids and I love them with all my heart. But there's nothing I can do about it. You know, my daughter says, oh, she's giving herself to God and she's back into church and this, that, and the other. But she ain't came to see me. She never did that. When I was in the drug program, she didn't do any drop-offs. She said she got me things and didn't do it. I'd stand at the gate waiting for hours at a time, thinking she was going to show up, and she never did. So that's cool. I'm straight. You know what I mean? She was trying to get back at me and hurt me. That's why. That's okay. I love my son. No matter what he does or where he goes, I'll still love him. And I love my husband, but he's gone now, and there's nothing I can do to bring him back. It's okay. I'm good, and I'm going to stay by myself, period. I don't want a relationship with a man. I don't want a relationship with no one, period. I want to be left alone. I don't want no negativity. I don't need no one putting me down, telling me about my past life. I'm not going to live in my past, and I'm not going to allow anyone else to live in my past for me, period. Leave me alone. If you can't be positive and elevate me and help elevate me, I don't want you a part of my life, period. That's it. God forgave me for what I've done. Why can't anybody else? That's okay. Because I'll stand alone, but I'll stand alone doing good. Thank you for listening to me. Anyways.
Okay. Let's read the comments real quick. Instead, I say this to myself because I get it. Through no one can get back and make a brand new start. Anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. I'm an RN and worked in a mental institution. Sunday said, you don't owe her nothing. I think she's missing it because if you gave yourself to God and God was your focus, God may have discouraged you from making this video. God forgives, but there are consequences to our actions. Absolutely. And my mom is stuck in the past, y'all. She thinks that okay. The first thing I noticed is she's still denying the drug addiction by calling herself a child of God. Right. It's the accountability. And I see this with a lot of people that struggle with addiction. They struggle with the accountability. That's great. We know that God is a redeemer. He's a healer. He's a forgiver. We know that when you accept him in your heart, that your sins are in the sea of forgetfulness. That is all very true. Absolutely. But God uses your testimony for other people. So you can't be in denial of who you are and where God is taking you from. You have to be bold and actually living your truth about that so that God can use your testimony to edify and to build his kingdom. right? Because if God can remove you out of that, if God can pick you up and turn you around, right, then he can do that for anyone else. So when we can't take accountability for who we are and where we've came from, and we can't, you know, testify to that, and we just want to speak only the good, there's a problem there, right? And also her judging me being back at church. I'm not going to say I'm holier than thou. I'm not going to say I'm a perfect Christian. I still be cussing. God's working on me. I still be listening to secular music here and there. I am not perfect. I'm not going to get on this internet and be like, I am sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost, and I have the evidence of speaking in tongues, but that does not make me better or above or perfect. It does not mean any of that. God is still working on me, within me, all of those things. God is still pulling the weeds out of me, all of those things. I am not perfect, and I don't claim to be perfect, but I am in the right place where I need to be. And that is trying to find my way back with the Lord, period, point blank. So I don't need anybody to define my relationship with God or what I'm trying to do with God. But any mother would want their children and grandchildren to be in the house of God, regardless of where their walk is at. Because if you're in the house of God, you're right where you need to be, period, point blank. So I didn't appreciate that either, you know? But again, this isn't to bash her or to condemn her, anything like that. I'm just sharing this with you guys. I want you guys to see, like, and to know, like, these are the things that I deal with, right? And my mom is getting ready to graduate from this program. And if she does graduate, we will go to her graduation. I will be in attendance. I will be happy for her, because that is an accomplishment, you know, for you to complete the program and graduate. I will be very proud of her if she doesn't exit the program before the graduation. That would be a big change for her. Also, when she was like, I don't want you in my life unless you can elevate me, unless you can grow me. And I think we live in a culture of that, where social media and all these podcasts and these inspirational speakers, you know, if you're not making me better, then I don't want to be surrounded by you. I think that is true to a certain extent. And why I say that is because you have to want better for yourself. You first have to make the choices and decisions to be better. Once you do that and you've made your mind up that you want to grow and elevate, you won't even surround yourself with people that pull you down. But you're not going to tell people that they have to evolve and grow to be around you and elevate you. You can choose to be around people that lift you up. You get what I'm saying? And I just was listening to that and I was just like, okay, you know, what in the world? So it just kind of, you know, some of the things just kind of threw me off a little bit. You know, I just was like, huh? But that threw me off right there. I wanted to share that with you guys. You know, I know a lot of people follow me because their parents, grandparents, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, somebody suffers from mental illness or mental illness and addiction. And I share these moments because I know people can relate to them. I know that people go through them. And I also want them to know they're not alone. And I'm going through it too. And if you're the oldest, you know, you bear a lot of weight when it comes to your siblings and it comes to your family, especially if people are addicted. You just do. Hey girly, how are you? Looking gorgeous as always. Thank you, Nancy. So yeah. And even watching it, you know, I'm proud of her for saying that she's lied to me in the past. That was a big, for her to admit that, that was huge. And I'm grateful that there was some honesty and transparency there. I really am. Will me and my mom's relationship ever be mended? I don't know. I'm putting that in the hands of God. And I think God's timing is perfect, and he'll bring that together. I'm not going to force that. And when she said, you can come looking for me, I will never go looking for anybody. That's not what I do. I'm not. And that's the problem. When I say that she can clock out of being a mother, you can't clock out. You can't. I remember when we went back into foster care, and I was 14 years old, and I was hearing all these stories about how their parents raised them and they were drug addicts, and how they lived at home, and this is their first foster home, and their parents finally lost it. It would just, I always envied those people. Like, man, your parents, they were on drugs, but at least they still raised you. At least they still took care of you. At least they didn't give up on their children. And my mom, her spirit is so beaten down from life and her choices. But you have to get to a place where you can take accountability that the choices you've made in life have brought you to exactly where you're at right now. And I think about that all the time for myself, that there's certain choices I've made in my relationship with Misha, and I should have walked away a long time ago. You know, Being entangled in the love triangles that had me focused on love and not my career and building my life. I take accountability for the parts that I played and where my life is today. I try my best to not victimize myself in woe is me, but look at the bigger picture that yes, there's a lot of times where we could have said no, or we could have walked away, or we could have, soul ties are heavy. I get that. But we have to take that accountability, because that's where growth comes. Once you take the accountability and you're not just saying it's you, because of you, because of you. When you say, no, I played a role in this too, that's when the growth comes. That's when the understanding comes. But not everybody sees it that way, and I get it. But for me, it's a lifetime commitment. No, it really is. It really is a lifetime commitment. I know that I'm going to be the mother of my children, even in the afterlife. Okay. I'll be looking at them down in heaven. Okay. Making sure they're good. I just feel like when you love your kids, it's forever. It doesn't, no matter how ugly it gets. And Aaron, you are strong and inspiring, girl. Thank you. And Aaron is not my son. He is my baby brother, but I love him as if he was. And even in this very horrific situation that we're in right now, I will love my brother unconditionally, right or wrong, good or bad. My love will never change. And I will never judge him nor condemn him or make him feel like he is lesser than me because of choices and decisions he's made. I will love him no matter what. And I get it. Not everybody's heart is built like that. That's the beautiful thing about you, though. And one of the main reasons I love following you, because you learn from your situations and become better from it. Thank you. I think you have to. And I think with age too, right? With age, you start to see and you start to look at your life and you're like, hold on, right? Because we can watch a lot of women on YouTube who don't take accountability and their life spirals out of control. So that was the live tonight. Amen. That's agape love, always giving above personal expectation. And my grandma instilled this inside of me. She said to never give or love expecting anything in return. She said if you love them or give them something, make sure it's from your heart and you don't expect anything. Make sure it's from the purest place. Because if it's not, you have a motive. And as a kid, I really didn't understand that. And I didn't understand why she would always reinforce that, give from a pure heart, don't expect anything in return. I'm like, if I give you something, what you gonna give me back? As a kid, you're thinking like that, right? Or if I let you borrow this, what are you gonna let me borrow? And it's so true, because I've seen it played out in life. You'll help somebody, right? Or somebody will help you, vice versa. And then later on they'll come and they'll be like, well, remember I helped you. I helped you when you were in that position. You owe me. Why would you do that? Why can't you be here for me? And my grandma's always taught me to have a heart posture that's not like that. Just because somebody does something for you or you do something for them, it doesn't mean that they owe you. You do it from the kindness of your heart. So, and that's so, it's such a simple thing, but I think it's important to instill those things in your children very young, even if it doesn't make sense yet. It will later, for sure. So, yeah, she is a wise woman, and I love her. And today's her birthday. And I cannot wait to take her to the Cheesecake Factory this weekend. And I'm going to take her to Bath and Body Works. And she said she wants to get some vanilla sprays and lotions. So I'm excited to spoil her. I love my granny. She drives me crazy because, you know, they say the older you get, you revert back to a child. And she is. I see her the older she gets. It's like she's a child. She's so innocent. And I just want to protect and love her, you know. I look at her in a different light, especially turning this age. A lot of people don't get to grow old, you know. And so I'm grateful that my grandmother is still with me. So happy birthday, Grandma. I love you so much. So, y'all, I was on here a whole hour. I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation. I hope you guys got something. That's so important. And I want to start to say that. And I want to start to make sure that my audience, my family, my community, you guys are getting something out of the conversation, that it is inspiring you in some way. It is bringing you some type of joy, some type of peace, some type of understanding in your life or another situation, or just gaining experience through my life, and having empathy for somebody else's situation. So I hope somebody got something out of this live tonight. Again, we were not here to bash my mother, but I wanted to share this with you because, yes, I'm loving Saved, Keisha. Okay, period. You have grown so much within the past couple months. Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate it. So God is good. And I appreciate you guys so much. I did post a vlog. Y'all should be proud of me, okay? Because y'all know I just record and I never post a vlog. So make sure you guys watch that before you go to bed, or if you have time tomorrow, you watch that vlog, because I need to get in my vlogging girl era. So hopefully that's in the cards for me. I'm not going to make promises because I don't want to make promises I can't keep. But hopefully that's in the cards and we can start having more vlogs. So make sure you check that vlog out. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 8:45 for the next live, where I give you guys a personal update with me and my personal life. Not with the family, but with me. Mwah. And Thursday, you guys know what time it is. It is the ending of the series. It is going to be part 4 of how I ended up in a polygamous relationship. And yeah. So have a good night, love. I'm going to rewatch from the beginning right now. Love you, girl. Night. I'm going to watch the vlog. Thank you. Hit the like button. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to all my mods. I love y'all. Y'all really been in this live with me. I appreciate y'all. We locked in. Let's see y'all. Good night. Get your guys' rest. I'm going to go get in the shower, get off this makeup off of me. And I love y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:45. Bye.